Okay, so you should have a highlighter ready to highlight keywords, and make sure you slash and dash. Use good strategies. Go ahead and put your name at the top. All right, number 1, make sure you are on the correct side. Looks like this with the little guy. I don't even know what he's holding, but anyway, we're going to skip most of this question. I just marked out what was irrelevant, what doesn't matter. So take a look at what we still have. It says, no sunlight can get through to my plants. No sunlight can get through. What can you infer about the drapes? So they're talking about drapes in a window. No sunlight can get through them. A, they are transparent. B, they are green. C, they are too long. D, they are opaque. Number 2, table salt, NaCl, and water, which is 2 hydrogens and an oxygen, are examples of A, mixtures, B, compounds, C, solutions, D, elements. If you need to pause this at any point, just pause it. Don't rush. Number 3, explain why this statement is true. Vascular plants can grow tall. A, they have petals that support them. B, they have tubes that carry nutrients throughout and stems to support them. C, they make their own food. D, they have hair-like rhizoids to anchor them to the ground. Number 4, Fritz, you can see Fritz down here, plays the tuba in the Oompa Band at Busch Gardens. Lucas, you can see right here, plays the trumpet in a jazz band. Who plays the instrument with the higher pitch? Fritz or Lucas? So write their name in the blank. And then you're supposed to explain, which I've given you some choices here. A, Lucas, because his trumpet has a shorter tube length. B, Fritz, because his tuba has a shorter tube length. C, Lucas, because his trumpet has a longer tube length. So who plays the instrument with the higher pitch? Explain. All right, number 5 is matching. Now remember, I'm going to read through these, but I like to do the long side first. So our choices are divergent, and I notice I did the DIV because it should remind you of something. Convergent, and I did the CON because that should remind you of something. Erosion, deposition, and I underlined deposit. Think about what it means to deposit something. And then weathering, and I underlined weather. All right, A, plates move apart. Is that divergent, convergent, erosion, deposition, or weathering? B, dropping of sediments transported because of erosion. So it's the dropping of the sediments transported because of erosion. Divergent, convergent, erosion, deposition, weathering. C, movement of rocks and soil by wind or water. Divergent, convergent, erosion, deposition, or weathering. D, plates move together. Divergent, convergent, erosion, deposition, weathering. E, breaking down of rock into smaller pieces. Divergent, convergent, erosion, deposition, weathering. All right, once you've marked all your answers, you may flip over your paper. Take a look at the next page. Okay, I have labeled some states here for you on your map just to make it a little more clear what we are looking at. So this is Virginia, the VA. NC stands for North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. We have to label A which is this right here, B, and then C. All right, here's our word bank. We have the North Carolina sounds. Is that going to be A, B, or C? The next one says the Gulf of Mexico. Is that going to be A, B, or C? Chesapeake Bay. A, B, or C? Number 2, label the parts. I have given you one of the answers. Here's our word box. We have ovary, pistil, which I have already labeled as this part here, the stamen, and the petal. So take a look at A. That is this piece right here. You need to decide, is that the ovary, the stamen, or the petal? Write it right there on the blank. B is pointing to this guy right here. Is that the ovary, stamen, or petal? D is pointing down here to this part. Is that the ovary, the stamen, or the petal? Write them in. Question number 2. In which part of this flower are the ovules found? That should be kind of a given if you look carefully at your choices. Number 3. We have a crossword puzzle. Fill in the crossword puzzle with the names of the 4 types of clouds. Okay, we have a word bank down here. Now I have 2 extra words in here that are not cloud types, so you've got to figure out which ones just to get rid of right away. So I'm going to read them to you, and maybe you can mark out the 2 that don't work. We have cirrus, cumulus, cumulus, stratus, cumulonimbus, sandus. Okay, so down the letter A, so that's going to be right here, the letter A down. White and fluffy. Figure out which one of these goes into those spaces. That would be white and fluffy. B down, which is right here. Feathery and wispy. Across, we have C across, which is right here. Large and dark. D, which is over here. Gray and smooth. Fill them in. Number 4. Look at this food web. Which organism belongs in the box? Now, always with a food web, you need to pay attention to your arrows. So I'm going to read it from the bottom because that's where we start. We have green plants, going up to a squirrel, going up to a question mark. Green plants going to a robin, going to the question mark, or green plants, robin, snake. Green plants, grasshopper, robin, question mark. Green plants, grasshopper, robin, snake. Green plants, grasshopper, frog, snake. Okay. What goes in this box? A chipmunk, bear, deer, or cat? So if I were you, I'd kind of go back through and trace it a few ways and follow those arrows, see what would make sense there. Number 5, my mom complains that socks get lost in the dryer, but they aren't lost. I always find them clinging to my t-shirts. What causes them to cling? A, magnetism. B, static electricity. C, mechanical energy. D, neutral charges. Right, I would go back through, check back over them, rewind if you need to listen again. Turn it into my inbox when you are done.